So hello and welcome back to Mega Reacts. I'm going to be doing my first Vampire Diaries tier live stream. I've not done many live streams at all, so this is kind of a new process for me. So if you come in, leave some comments and I'll try to answer some questions. But other than that, let's just get right into my tier list. So starting off, I have everyone separated by colors and by what they are. I have green, let me look in my camera. I have green for the humans. I have purple for the werewolves. I have yellow for the witches. And I have red for the vampires. So now that you kind of know how I got them separated out, we're going to be starting off with the side characters first and then work our way up to the main cast. So first of all, as you can see, I already have one person preloaded. It is Vicky. Vicky. Now you all know how I feel about Vicky. She was the worst. She was a terrible human. She was an even worse vampire. She annoyed me anytime she was given any moments in the show, and I was glad when she died. I was not glad when she came back to life as a vampire, but I was glad when she died again as a vampire. So, Vicky, you're at the bottom of the list. You are D tier. Sorry to tell you, but you are. It just is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so who do we have next? All right, let's we'll go through the lower tier humans. No, lower tier. We're gonna go to the lower tier vampires first. So we have Isabelle, Alaric's ex-wife. Well, I guess current wife, who's dead, and Elena's mother. So yeah, where would we place good old Isabelle? Now, she's not nearly as annoying as Vicky was. So I'm thinking she's definitely not S tier. I mean, there's no way. Even A or B. No, it's between B and C. Isabelle. You know what? Sorry, Isabelle, you're going to C. She was a somewhat interesting character. You know, she tied into Alaric and Elena and John, and she added some dynamic there, and she was kind of a revel in the power, revel in being a vampire type character, which I can appreciate. But overall, if she wasn't in the show, I don't think I really would have lost any of the good vibes I got. So we'll throw her there. Let's continue on with our vampire list here. And we have Anna. Sweet Anna. So Anna was a character I actually really liked. I thought she was great for Jeremy after Vicky died. I thought she was a upgrade, 110% upgrade from the type of girl he was into previously. But sadly she was killed. Thank you, John, you son of a bitch. I'll get to John. Don't you worry. I'll get to John. So Anna, sweet Anna, she worked so hard to free her mom from the tomb. I mean, she really did. And she was a pretty good, person. She wasn't out there just randomly killing people. She was nice to Jeremy. She was nice to most people. And in the end, what did she get for it? A stake in the chest. But I really did like her character. Now, she's not top 2 tier at all, but I'll throw her in here in the B list. She was not great, but she was good. She was a good character. And I do miss her. And being we just did Anna, let's go right on to her mother, Pearl. Sweet Pearl. So Pearl getting screwed by the Gilberts for a very long time. She wound up in the tomb because of a Gilbert. She was killed by a Gilbert. But when she got out of the tomb, she wanted to find some sort of peace. She wanted to just live her life. She wanted to just be just like a regular person, really, who just happened to drink blood and have superpowers. But in the end, it was not meant to be. She should have left Mystic Falls. If you're a vampire, you don't want to die, leave Mystic Falls, okay? Because everyone there knows how to kill vampires. So we're going to throw good old Pearl here. I'm sorry, Pearl, you're going to C tier. Which C tier is, you know, so just in case you don't know, let me go over that real quick. And once again, I'm going to be all over the place. I've never done one of these before. I've never done a tier list before. I've never done a live stream really before. I think I've done 1 or 2 on the channel, but they were just kind of practice runs. All right, so S tier is like the best of the best. Like that is God tier. That means you are an amazing, fantastic, great character. A tier means a really, really, really good character. B is going to be your kind of average. Like, that's a good character. It's not the best, not the worst, but I get joy out of it. C is below par. You kind of like some of the moments, but overall, if they're not in the show, would it really have affected your experience? You know. D is they're trash. They're trash. We don't want them in the show. They should never been in the show. I'm glad they're dead if they're dead. If they're not dead, I hope they die. That is D tier. All right, we got that out of the way. So if anyone's in the comments, just or in the chat, let me know. Let me know how the stream is going. Is the audio good? Is the frame rate good? Because I really can't tell. So just let me know. And okay, Lexi is next. And I did. I liked so many characters in this show, didn't I? Lexi was a great character. She was Stefan's oldest friend. We saw that she helped him control his bloodlust after he was turned. I guess they met at like a military hospital or a military or like a hospital on the battlefield, something like that, where he was just, yes, 27 dead cows. Lot of potential for Pearl. I mean, I really thought she was a great character. I love the actress who plays Pearl. She's also, I mean, she's not hard on the eyes. She's absolutely beautiful. And it was just kind of sad. It was kind of sad. And it was unexpected when she died. It wasn't even she didn't even go out fighting or anything. She walked out her front door, boom, dead. Very sad. Very sad. Yes, it was very sad. All right. All right, good deal, Gina. Thank you all for giving me a little chat. How's the audio in the video? Is it good? Thumbs up? I don't know. All right, so let's get back to it. Lexi. Once again, Lexi was a sweet character. She brought out more of a human side, like a real human side when she was around Stefan. Now, when Stefan is with Elena, he acts human and nice and all that. But he rarely like laughs where it feels like a real laugh. It kind of feels like he's always putting on a human act for Elena. At least that's how I feel a lot of times. But when Lexi was around, he would smile, he would laugh. He seemed like truly human and happy, like he could be himself. And I really like that. And because of that, Lexi, even though you had a short run on the show, you're going up to B tier. B tier, Lexi, because I would have loved to have seen more of you in the show. I thought your part was far too short. I mean, Pearl had a short part too, but she had more time than you did, Lexi. You had like half of one show and then like a little cameo in a flashback. And that's sad. That's sad. I wanted more. I wanted more. All right, so we're going to skip the rest of these vampires until we get to Rose, because like I said, we're going to do kind of the lower tier or the side characters, or not the main characters first. So Rose, sweet Rose, the first person we saw to get killed by a werewolf bite, and it looked very, very painful. So Rose was a decent character. She kind of got dragged into this hot mess that she was in because of her loyalty to a friend. She was manipulated and was on the run for a good bit of her vampire life, if not most of her vampire life, which is sad. But, you know, I don't think she brought too much to the show really as a character. she was interesting to see interact with Damon because you got to see him, like, you know, loving on someone and maybe being happy for a few moments. I don't know. But she was mainly there to make me like Damon more, I think, because all the best scenes with her are because of how they portrayed Damon. When, you know, Damon was in her mind in this kind of dream world that they made, or that he made for her, of one of her happiest memories. It humanized Damon. It showed the depth of Damon's character. It shows his capacity for love, and what a romantic he is, really, because that was kind of romantic. You know, even if she was dying, it was still, you know, kind of a sad romantic moment. And then he had to put her out of her misery, and that was sad too. But as a character, she was there mainly, I think, to make me like Damon more, and she did her job there. But overall, we'll put her down here in the C tier. I don't know if anyone else is going to make it down there to Vicky's level. And if there's any Vicky fans out there who are watching this, let me know why in the comments. If you loved her character, just let me know why, because I don't get it. I don't get it at all. All right, so that is all of our lower tier vampires. And in case you haven't noticed, when I was first going to do this tier, I had Jenna here as a human, and then I finished watching season 2, and I had to change her to red for a vampire. I actually just watched the season 2 finale last night. What an ending to a show. What an ending to a season. It was amazing. Honestly, I was kind of bummed out by the end of it all. I was just kind of sad and in shock, and really excited for season 3 because there's so many changes coming to the show, and that's very exciting. Very exciting. Like Rose over Lexi, that's fair. And, you know, this is just a personal preference. And I think the reason I like Lexi so much because, like I said, what it did for Stefan, and where Stefan rarely I get to see that side of him where I really feel like he's truly being himself and not in a monster way. With Damon, I see that quite often with a bunch of characters, and Rose was just another one of those characters. And yes, dead cows. Her fear of the originals and of Klaus 100% made you feel like this is a real threat. Like this is a real threat. But I think almost any character could have had that role and portrayed that. I don't think the actual character Rose added much to it. But I get your point. Maybe I'm a little harsh on my ranking of Rose. Let me think. Does she deserve B tier? I'm going through the moments here. Flashback. She was gonna kill Katarina. She was like, I'm just gonna kill you or take you back or something. Like, she was done with that bitch. So that was really good. Good scenes with Damon. No, I'm leaving Lexi where she's at. Sorry, folks. But I do get the argument for sure. She just didn't. She didn't scratch my itch. For those of you who don't know, I do have a speech impediment. It's not that bad. I've managed it over the years, but I edit out most of it for my YouTube videos. But I'm here live, so you're maybe gonna see a few little stammers and things like that. So just be patient. I'll eventually get the words out. Okay. So we've gone through our kind of lower list here of vampires. Let's go up to the humans in green. And we will start with the POS, the annoying character, possibly on the level of Vicky. We have good old Johnny boy here, John Gilbert. Uncle John, or Father John, if you want to call him by what he really is, father to Elena. He's a trash character. Didn't like him. I mean, he did his role, I guess, which was to be a bad guy who you did not like. He pulled that off, but he killed Rose. No, he didn't kill. He killed Pearl. I always get those names mixed up. He killed Pearl. He killed Anna. That sucked. He tried to kill Damon. He tried to kill every vampire in town. He was a bad parent, a bad uncle, just a bad person all the way around. But he did redeem himself at the end of season 2. He gave his life to save his daughter's life. And for that reason, and that reason alone, he finds himself at the C tier. Of course, honestly, now that I'm seeing Rose by John, I'm starting to rethink her being down there. I'm starting to rethink most of them being down there if they're down there with him. You know what? That one redeeming act is not enough, sir. Is not enough. You're going down to D tier. You go hang out with Vicky. You and her, perfect couple. 2 annoying pieces of crap. I'm glad you're gone. All right. Who's next? We got the sheriff. And let me move. There we go. We got our humans, our werewolves, our witches, our vampires, all together in their group. Okay, so we got the sheriff now. The sheriff. She's a good character. She's Damon's friend. That means something to me. If you're friends with Damon, that means you're kind of cool. You're kind of cool. She's a good character. I like that she really takes her job serious as sheriff and as, a hunter of supernatural creatures. Like, she is gung-ho about it. She faces it without fear, without running. Like, she's a tough cookie, and I like that about her. She has found out the truth about vampires twice now, or not about vampires, about her daughter Caroline and the Salvatores and all that twice now. First time, it took her a while to accept her daughter, but she did. They had a real growing moment. They, I think, worked some things out, only for it to all be erased from her memory for no real reason, because she ends up finding out again anyway, because of Mr. Matt. And I think she's handling it okay, but I don't know how season 3 is going to be with her knowing. But she's a good character. She's had some great moments. I look at her as almost part of the main cast. I mean, she's in a lot of the shows. But at the end of the day, how do I personally feel about her? Is she someone I look? Well, shit, 27 Dead Cows. That is a valid point. All right, and because of that only, because of that point you made only, she goes from C tier to B tier. I can't put her in S, because she only is partially responsible for making Caroline. There's a father too who we haven't met, so I can only give her half the credit. Sheriff, you go to B tier mainly because you are Caroline's mom. Oh, I love Caroline. You can already guess where she might go. That's going to be a hard decision. All right, so that's it for the B-list humans, I think. Let's go on to the werewolves, which are mainly B-list characters. All right, we have the first werewolf we met. God, what was his name? He was Tyler's uncle. I don't remember his name. Let me know in the comments what his name was. Mason. Mason was his name. Mason introduced us to werewolves. He was a good character. He came into town with some mystery. You weren't quite sure. He turned out to be just someone being manipulated by Catherine, like most people. She manipulates everyone. Kind of why I love her. And she completely had him wrapped around her finger. She manipulated him into triggering his own curse, all for her end goal of the ritual to, I guess, break curse, which turned out to not even be a real curse for all of vampires and werewolves. It's complicated. But he was a decent character. He helped bring Tyler into the whole werewolf aspect of the show, and for that, I appreciate him. But overall, not a character I looked forward to seeing in episodes. When he died, I didn't really care. It was a good death scene, though. He was tortured, heart ripped out. Very cool. Mason, you're going up here on C tier. Just, you know, maybe I'm being a little harsh on these. I don't know. And I haven't really thought about these rankings until right now. So this is just kind of me going off the cuff here, trying to figure out how I feel about these characters. All right, then we have this dude here. I don't even know who he is. I mean, I know who he is. He was the like alpha leader pack dude who basically got all of his werewolf pals killed because he was after vengeance and was not very smart. And you know, I really don't care about him. If he was never in the show, I wouldn't have cared. So we'll throw him right up here. You're D tier. You're down there with Vicky and John. Sorry for you. All right. Then we have werewolf lady. Don't know her name either. She took Tyler kind of under her wings and took him out of town, teach him how to be a werewolf. Not even sure how long they were gone for, but she was interesting. But once again, nothing major. She's better than Alpha Idiot. Yes, Lexi was fantastic. I mean, she made it to the B tier because we didn't get enough of her to really put her up higher, but she was a great character and one that I truly miss, and I wish we had more of her in the show. I 100% agree with that. All right, so that is it for our non-main werewolves. And then we're going to get into the witches here. We will start off with Grams, just because I like Grams. Grams was a great character. She kind of helped Bonnie learn her legacy of witchcraft. She helped break the tomb seal, put it back up. She didn't take no shit from no Salvatore brother. Like, she was a good character. I think we could have had a little more of her. I wish she wouldn't have died so quickly, but for the short time we had her in the few episodes kind of sprinkled throughout, she was an interesting character, a good character. I would have liked to have seen more of her. Putting her up in B tier. There she goes. And that's only because she's a character I really want to see more of. And if you're a character I wish I would have seen more of, that means you're a good character. Because I don't want to see trash characters. And if I miss you, then that's why you're there. All right, we have the two warlocks, the father and son. Don't remember their names, of course. So the father, let me talk about the father and son at the same time, first of all. They were great characters. Their interaction with each other, they felt like father and son. They felt like a team. They felt like they were doing what they had to do for their family, which they thought they were. It turns out their sister was working for Klaus on her own accord. So, yeah, I don't know what that was about. But yeah, so they were really cool characters. I really liked them. And then they tried to bring Elijah back by taking the dagger out of his chest, and the son got blowtorched by Damon while he was in an astral form or something, or invisible, or however that power worked, because his physical body wasn't there, but when his essence got burned, the body got burned. It was weird. But he got burned up, and then the father went like crazy and wanted to kill everybody. So the father was a good character. He was a father. He was doing what he had to do. He pulled off the whole warlock power thing very well, I thought. But overall, would it have made a difference if he was in the show or not? Not really. We'll throw him up on C list. Even though I liked his character, you know, there wasn't enough there. There wasn't enough there. He wasn't in it long enough. And just to keep father and son together, we'll put them up together right there. Yeah, because he was, you know, the son was a good character too, but he manipulated Bonnie. He was a manipulator, and Bonnie used his ass as a battery, which was kind of cool. But overall, not the greatest character. So he'll end up in C tier. Wow, no one's made it to S or A yet. Is that usual for most people's tier listing? All right. So we just have the main characters left for the most part. So let me look over my list so far. See if I have any changes to make. All right, the bottom tier, the D tier is fine. I don't like any of those characters. C tier. You know, the more I think about it, the more I think about it, the more I think about it. You're moving up, Rose. You're moving up. Because I would have liked to have seen more Rose the more I think about it. She was an interesting character. I would have liked to have seen her be able to actually live life as a vampire and not be on the run. To maybe learn from her. She's been around for like 600 years, maybe longer. I don't know. So she could have been a very, very interesting character. The seeds were there. She also had these contacts into the vampire world that we saw when she went to that one coffee place. So I think, yeah, there definitely was more to be explored with her, and the actress is solid, so it's hard not to appreciate that. But other than that, yeah, I think I'm pretty set with what I have right now. Thoughts so far, anyone, with my listing while I have a sip of my beverage? All right, good deal. So, got the main group here now. Oh man, and I will of course save, the main 3 characters for last. But let's start off with the humans. We have Jeremy. I will admit, season 1, I did not like Jeremy at all. For the most part, I think around the end of season 1, he started coming around. When he was just a moody, bratty, drug-selling, drug-using, obsessed with Vicky, loser, crybaby boy, I didn't like him. I thought everything I just said. I thought he was all of that and just kind of a waste of space. He really was. But then Vicky died. Dead cows. That's 100% right, sir. I do kind of feel bad for them too. But you know what? I stand by my decision. I didn't like either one of those dudes either. John almost made it to C tier. He almost redeemed himself at the end of season 2. But you know what? One good deed does not make up for 2 seasons of shit. He is staying down bottom. All right. So I'm sorry. I get easily distracted sometimes. And I say I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I like talking. I'm a talker, especially when people are like interacting with me. That's when I really talk a lot. But Jeremy, like I said, for the most of season 1, I was not a fan. But once Vicky died and Damon did his little mind manipulation, which he had to have said more than just, you don't know how Vicky died, everything's fine. Like, he must have given him some sort of pep talk or something, because Jeremy was a different character after that. And he slowly became someone I really like. Like, he's a good character now. And in season 2, he joined the kind of team. He was helping Bonnie with her witchiness, and him and Bonnie kind of a couple now, which is kind of nice. And then at the end of season 2, he dies. Oh shit, Jeremy's dead, and it was by a human's hand, so the ring isn't going to work. So he's brought back, but we're told there is a price. And now I think he sees dead people, or communicates with spirits, or he's a conduit. I don't know. They didn't really go into it. They took away the suffering, yeah. And maybe by the suffering, it was all of the suffering from his parents and from everything. And maybe that's why he was back to being more of a character that I kind of liked. But yeah, season 2, Jeremy completely turned around how I felt about him. And he is a good character. B or A? Like, I like him, but is he? That's a tough one. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling you there. It's like Miss Danny Banani 9. I don't know, I'm saying that wrong. 90. I really like him, but I don't think he's A tier though. I mean, he is still kind of, he's not quite up there yet. Maybe in the future, I don't know. So let's just B tier, my man, B tier. All right, next. Now we're starting to get into where the real decisions are going to come in. Alaric. Alaric's the man. Alaric's the man. Wife died by a vampire. He comes to town. He's here to slay vampires, kick ass, take names. And in the end, he becomes one of Damon's best friends, I think. They're drinking buddies. They suffer in their misery together in a most wonderful way. I would sit down and have a drink with Alaric and Damon. Like, I think they'd be fun to hang out with. He's great for comedy also. Like, there's some moments where he just has this look that just makes me laugh. And he's a solid character. His motivation is clear on why he came to Mystic Falls. He then evolves as a character, not just to a angry hunter. Vampires killed my wife. I hate all vampires. Now he actively helps vampires, hangs out with vampires. He has saved the day more than once, and he's a integral part of the team. And I feel so bad for him because he lost Jenna in the end of season 2. And I fear in season 3 he might rekindle his hunter inner core, or the hunter within him, and try to go after Klaus because Klaus killed Jenna. I don't know. Yes, Gina, I will definitely do more tiers lists in the future. This tier list is solely up to the end of season 2. So I just finished season 2, and I want to just kind of get a feeling for where I view each character before I go into season 3. But I will probably do this maybe every couple seasons, or I'll do one more whenever I finish the show. I'm not sure yet. But this is just my feelings of the characters I have interacted with up to the end of season 2. So I will definitely be doing another one in the future. Oh, man. Allergies are killing me. I live in Florida this time of year. Allergies are crazy. All right. All right, every 2 seasons, I can probably do that. So we'll do another one at the end of season 4, and we'll see how my views change. Okay, but yeah, Alaric. I mean, solid character, so much growth, and he's likable. And then when he was possessed by the soul of Klaus, the actor was fantastic. You really saw the change in character. Like, that was not Alaric. Like, you looked and you knew that wasn't. I mean, it looked like him, did not act like him at all. Fantastic. Alaric, welcome, my man. You're the first person to reach the A tier. You're not the greatest character ever made, who I want to see in every single episode, every time of every show, but you're getting there. You're getting there. You're pretty close. All right, Elena, we'll come back to you. Matt. I've been up and down with Matt's character since season 1. He's a good guy. Like, he is a good guy. He's probably the nicest guy in the whole show. And he's had a tough life. And he works with what he has, and he tries to be the best person he can be. And he is not ready for any of this supernatural junk. We found that out in season 2 at the end, when, he kind of knows everything, and he helps Caroline and Tyler at the end. And you can kind of see that he's trying to process everything. He just can't. Just cannot do it. And he, I don't know. He broke Caroline's heart. And that makes me like you less, dude. But he's working with what he has. It's a very difficult situation. I don't know. Matt. You're not A tier, buddy. You're not A tier. I like you though. I like you. You're a likable, nice guy. You are Elena's oldest friend. You have tried your hardest to kind of deal, and you can't. You also sold Caroline out. You sold everyone out. You almost ruined the entire end of season 2 because you went to the sheriff. But I guess I didn't blame the sheriff for any of that, did I? But she wouldn't have known that if you wouldn't have went to her. So it really is your fault. All right, Matt. I think I know where Matt goes. Matt. Either B or C, dude. Like, I don't know. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. Do I care if I ever see Matt again after season 2? Let me ask myself that. No. If Matt left now that season 2's over, I would be fine with it. And with that realization, Matt, you make it to C tier, dude. Yeah, he's just not the most interesting. And I've been waiting so long for him to get brought into the supernatural world, because he was really the only one who was in the main cast who didn't know. But now that he knows, he doesn't want to be in it. So, then just get out of the show, dude. Bye. Go. Matt is kind of dull. You're right. I mean, he makes it to C tier. All right. So next, Tyler Lockwood, the werewolf. The one werewolf left in the show so far. But is he that great of a character? He's gotten better since he became a werewolf. And some of the dynamic between him and Caroline, I really, really like. I think they might become a couple at some point. I don't know. Maybe it's just because they've known each other so long that they'll just be really, really good friends. But her helping him through his changes and them kind of being able to lean on each other and confide in each other. I like that aspect. But then we get into the part where, do I really like Tyler, or do I just like Tyler when he's interacting with Caroline so I can see more of Caroline being the awesome character that she is? I don't know. But he's better than Matt. And he's at least equal with Jeremy. So, yeah. Tyler, you make it to B tier, buddy. The first werewolf to make it past C tier. And the only werewolf. All right, who do we have left? All right, these are all pretty main people at this point. Let's go ahead and rearrange it. So we'll do Jenna. We'll do originals. No, we'll do Caroline before. All right, that's the order. That's the order I'm going to finish in. Here's what we have left. So, Bonnie, a Bennett witch. She has a history in Salem, or at least her family does. She has learned how to use her power to make daylight rings and do all kind of mojo. She has pulled on the power of 100 dead witches and continues to ask their help, even to help a vampire, which does not make the witches happy. Not at all. She's a great character, though. She's grown a lot. She's very powerful. She flaunts her power. She threatens everyone. She really acts like she can kill anyone at any moment. And if I was Damon, I would have already killed her, which probably would have been bad because then you wouldn't have been able to kill Klaus. But y'all didn't kill Klaus anyway, so it really wouldn't have mattered. So, yeah. Damon, you should have killed Bonnie. Not because I don't like her, but because her power level is to the point where she can kill you. And you got to kill her before she kills you. That's just a fact. But I like Bonnie. Do I like her A tier or S tier Bonnie? No. Bonnie, you're up there with your Grams. You're B tier. You're a B tier character. Which means you're average. You're good. You're not great, but you're average. Yeah, I think I'm happy with Bonnie there. She's not on Alaric's level. Oh, it's really looking like I don't love a ton of characters. I have a lot of characters I just kind of like on B tier. Characters that were okay, but I could really do without on C tier. And then only a few characters I completely think were a waste of space in the show and should have never been added. And if they never existed, I wouldn't care. All right, Jenna. Oh, poor Jenna. I just watched the end of season 2. Jenna, I liked her character. She was smart. She was funny. She was kind of goofy and sexy, and she was kind of like a party girl that all of us kind of know, who had a good heart and, you know, gave up her life to take care of her niece and nephew. And she was just a good character. And her and Alaric together was so sweet, and you could tell they loved each other. And I thought we would get more of that. But she learned about the whole supernatural world. She kind of freaked out. Then she accepted it, and I thought everything was going to be well. And then Klaus gives her blood, kills her, turns her into a vampire, and then kills her again for the ritual in front of Elena. And she died. And it was very sad. It was very sad. Oh, she was a vampire for like 20 minutes and died. I feel bad for her. Yes, that was very sad, 27 dead cows. And I think that's what hurt her the most. Not so much not knowing, but that everyone else knew and lied to her. Kind of a betrayal. I also think she was maybe a little relieved when it all made sense why Alaric's dead wife was not dead and everything. She was like, oh, okay, she's a vampire. That all makes sense now, why you wouldn't tell me and why she showed up and kind of the craziness. But yes, it was very, very sad when she found out the truth. And it was even sadder the way it ended for her. I mean, she was finally brought in on everything. She could finally, you know, have a true, open, and healthy relationship with Alaric and everyone else. Because you cannot have a healthy relationship when there's so many lies. It doesn't matter if the lies are to protect you or not. You just can't have a healthy relationship surrounded with lies. So it was finally time for everything to be wonderful in her life, and she dies in her sacrifice. Very sad. But Jenna, I liked you. I wish you were still in the show. You will be missed. You make B tier. All right, we're down to the top 7. Right? How's everyone just popping up in my house and you were in one room, now the other? I would put up cameras in my house. She'd have known a lot sooner. All right, we're down to the top ones here. First off, we have the first original vampire we met, a man of power and honor and good hair and wonderful taste in suits. Elijah. I liked Elijah right off the bat. He was arrogant. He was so arrogant, but arrogant and charming. You know, he had this swag, this walk, this way of carrying himself, this way of speaking, almost regal, almost of true authority. And it makes sense. He's an original vampire. He has no predators in this world, really, except maybe Klaus now. So he did walk as if he was, you know, the top of the food chain. Well, hello, M. Welcome. So yeah, I mean, I really liked Elijah right off the bat. And then the more I learned about him, the more I liked him. Because he would make deals and he would keep his word. Even if you broke your word to him, he would make another deal with you and keep his word. Until the end, we found out that when he was going to kill Klaus, he was going to keep his word, and then Klaus dropped the whole I know where the rest of the family is. They're not in the bottom of the ocean or something. So he said, well, I can't kill him because I want to see my family. That is Klaus's power. He knows Elijah's weakness, and Elijah's weakness is family. Because Elijah even told us he was after revenge to kill Klaus, even though Klaus was his brother. And why did he want revenge? Because Klaus killed the rest of his family. But if Klaus truly didn't kill the rest of the family, if they all just have daggers in their chest somewhere, Elijah cannot take that risk and kill Klaus without knowing. So I get why he broke his word, because there is honor in your word, but there is honor to family. And a lot of times the honor to your family will take precedence over honor to anyone else. So I get it. Yeah, I heard there's a spinoff called The Originals, which I will be watching at some point. I got to figure out where it ties in with the Vampire Diaries universe and when I can watch it, and if I should wait until I'm done with Vampire Diaries or kind of mix it in at some point. I don't know. But Elijah's cool. And when he picked up all of those quarters and threw them through the window with just such style. The man has style, and I love it. Elijah, you rock. You rock. And because of that, even though this made me think of you less, sir, I will be honest. Klaus agreed to take you to your family. I instantly knew with his choice of words, your ass was going to get a dagger and you were going to be locked away with the rest of them. And that's what happened. And the fact that you didn't know that, you couldn't see that, made me almost think less of you. But I'll blame it on the writers. Okay, I'll blame it on the writers. And because of that, Elijah, the first character to make it to the S tier. He's a great character. I want to see him in every episode. I will be honest, when they introduced him in I cannot talk, in episodes afterwards that he did not appear, I was sad. I wanted to see more of him, and he was not there. So, because of that, S tier, my man. Okay. That leads us, Mr. Klaus, the hybrid, the abomination, the one who is trying to turn Stefan back into a bloodthirsty monster that he wants to party with. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. He's a great villain. I was skeptical before he showed up. So much hype for a villain. So much hype. It makes you really build up in your mind what you're going to see. And I was afraid he would not live up to the mental image I had. But you know what? He has lived up to it. He's a great actor. His look of just menace and glee in the pain and the torture and the death. Like, he is a sadist. He enjoys hurting people and torturing people and watching them look at him in fear. He loves it. He loves it. And I love a villain who loves being a villain. A villain who wraps himself in a blanket of the blood and the fear and the terror of those around him. And he just revels in it. And that's the vibe I get from Klaus. There were many times when something horrible was going on, and he'd have this little smirk on his face. You are an evil bastard. You are an evil bastard. But, does he make S tier? No, he does not. He's not as cool as Klaus. Not as Klaus. As Elijah. He's not as cool as Elijah. And let's see. So we have Klaus here. S tier. No. Is he on the same level as my man Alaric? Or is he? No, he's better than that. I want to see more Klaus. I am so invested in him going on his little adventure with Stefan, an adventure fueled with blood and anger and the vampire beast, the beast within. Klaus is great. Klaus reminds me of a Gangrel, if you ever played Vampire the Masquerade. He's got a Gangrel look. But yeah, so Klaus, you go to A tier, my man. Good old A tier. Yeah, Klaus is an amazing character. Let me go through the comments real quick. It's one of my favorites too. Yeah, no one mentioned any spoilers. I do have someone who will go through these comments at some point, but they're not here right now, so try to avoid anything that's going to ruin it for me. There we are. Yeah, so, all right, so here we go. We're down to our final 5. The final 5. Wow, it's almost been an hour I've been doing this. Werewolf made it to an A. It was very cool when he gained his, like, werewolf powers, but I haven't seen enough of Klaus, you know what I mean? Like, we've seen him, what, 2, maybe 3 episodes total? And not even the full episodes? He's really, he's an interesting character that I want to see more of, but he hasn't quite made it to, I want to see him in every episode yet level. Speaking of every episode, you love to see him. Katarina. She's great. When I think of a vampire, she is what I think of. Smart, cunning, sexy, manipulative, a survivor. That is what Katarina is, a survivor. She will betray, she will kill, she will do whatever she has to save her own life. I can respect that. She's manipulated the Salvatores. She's manipulated Mason. She's manipulated Pearl and probably everyone else on here in some way. And she's great. She's an amazing character, an interesting character, a character I love to see in every episode. She is sassy. She's sassy. She's damn sassy. She's a sassy character, and I love her for it. I like her more than Elena, to be honest, which is weird because for a while I hated her for what she did to Damon. Like, how dare you break this man's heart, have him think you're locked in a tomb, have him spend his entire unlife trying to figure out a way to get you out, only for you not to be in there, and for you not only to not be in there, but you don't give 2 shits about Damon. You just love his brother. You could care less about Damon. He was just a toy thing to play with. But you did save his life at the end of season 2 with that Klaus blood. A very sassy great grandmama. Great grandma. Yeah, definitely more interesting than Elena. But is she S tier or A tier interesting? This might, I don't know. Boom. Catherine, you're S tier, baby. Katarina Petrovich, or whatever your last name is, S tier. I love you. I want you in every episode. Whenever Elena shows up, I secretly hope maybe that's Catherine in disguise. I don't know. It's great though. It's great. I love her. I do. Speaking of love, who do we have next? You know who we have next. Caroline. With her bloody face picture. I found that picture specifically because I love her when she's got her bloody face, fangs out. Be still my heart. I love Caroline. I am biased when it comes to Caroline. I am going to go ahead and let you know my bias. I love her. She is sweet and bubbly. Petrova, that's the last name, Petrova. Caroline is amazing. She's a bubbly, sweet, charismatic darling of a girl who had this vampire life thrust upon her and has handled it like a pro. She hasn't killed a ton of people Even when she first turned, I didn't even know what she was. She didn't kill the nurse, just drank her blood. She compelled her without even being taught. Like, she took to being a vampire very, very, very well. And she has beat up werewolves. She has confronted her mom. She has stood up to Catherine. She has helped trap Catherine. She has fought werewolves. She has been tortured. She is great. She is great. She could be annoying early on. Now that she's a vamp, I don't find her that annoying at all. But it also could be because I am just in love with her, like I said, and I'm completely biased. But there's no doubt where she's going to go on my list. There's no doubt. I mean, Caroline just makes me feel warm and cuddly inside. Caroline, you're S tier, baby. I want you in every episode. I really do. I really do. That leaves us the final three. The final three. I am glad there's so much Caroline love out there. I'm glad it's out there because I feel it too. I feel it too. Wonderful Caroline. Sweet Caroline. Boom, boom, boom. I love her. I love her. All right, the final three. Let's start off with Elena, who I thought I might have to change to a vampire before this because of the way season 2 ended. But it turns out the little spell tied to John worked. She came back as a person. And so she's human, so that's fine. Elena is the catalyst for the first 2 seasons of the show, really. I mean, she's the reason that Stefan comes to town, and then Damon comes to town. Well, he would come to town anyway to break the curse. But, you know, she's the doppelganger. She's needed for the ritual. She's Isabelle's daughter. She's John's daughter. She is an integral part of a lot in the first 2 seasons. And the actress who plays her does a good job playing the character. The issue is with the character itself. She's kind of boring. She's kind of boring. She's a 17-year-old girl. And she plays it like a 17-year-old girl who's been thrust into this kind of crazy world, who's in love with this vampire. And she is a brave character. She's willing to die for her friends. She's willing to fight. She even comes up with a few plans that work quite well. But as a character, I'm just not... I don't know about that, Em. I'll have to think about that. But the character itself is just not that interesting of a character. I like that she's in the show, but do I look forward to all of the Elena moments? No, I do not. And because of that, Elena, you are B tier, girl. And that's not a put down. That's not a put down. It's just, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, the same actress is also S tier with the other character. So 110%, it's not the actress or anything like that. Because she can act. She can play some great characters. It's just the character of Elena is just not a character I'm thrilled to see every episode. Yeah, that is fair. Shadeth. I don't know. Words are hard. But yeah, so yeah, she goes to B tier, which leaves the Salvatore brothers, Damon and Stefan. And we'll do Damon last. Let's switch them around. Stefan Salvatore, the blood junkie, the man who killed his own father to become a vampire, the man who forced his brother into this undead life, this man who apparently went on raids of entire villages and killed people and drank all their blood in his crazy years, this man who loves Elena more than himself, this man who gave up his freedom to save his brother's life. gave up Elena to save his brother's life in the end of season 2. This man who gave up his humanity at the end of season 2 to save his brother's life. He has grown on me quite a bit. Season 1, he would have been B tier. He would have been B tier season 1, even midway through season 2. But now that I'm done with season 2 and I've seen all the things that Stefan has done, Stefan, you've gained my respect. You're up there in A tier, buddy. You're up there in A tier. I think it was a accident, but then he drank his blood. So, that wasn't an accident to drink his blood. So, and I think when he drank his blood is when he really killed him. I think he just hurt him on accident, right? And then drank his blood? I don't know. And yeah, Stefan is a very selfless character. And I really felt that at the end of season 2. I mean, when he gave up his freedom, his humanity, and Elena, all to save his brother's life. That is what makes him A tier in my book. He would have been B tier prior to all of that because I was not the biggest Stefan fan. But he's been growing on me throughout the season, and that final act, that final sacrifice, puts him up to A tier. I do see he might make it to S tier at some point, but as of right now, he's a great character, but he's not S tier level. Oh yeah, he loves that blood. I will say this. I am excited to see Stefan in like a blood, fury, rage, madness. And that looks like what season 3 is going to be. Maybe them having to bring him back from the dark side. I don't know. But I want to see that version. I want to see him just giving in to the beast and seeing the Stefan we heard about, from the past. That is exciting. And then Damon Salvatore, the lesser brother, according to everyone in the world except for the fans. His father liked him less. Elena likes him less. Catherine liked him less. They all like you less than your brother. But I love Stefan. Good character. He's a tormented vampire. A vampire who misses. Yes, the Ripper. The Ripper was what he was called. I wonder if he was Jack the Ripper. I don't know. But Damon, he's a tormented soul. A tormented vampire. A vampire cursed with immortality who did not want it, but it was thrust upon him. And if he must be a monster, he will be a monster to the world. That's kind of how he views life. And he tries so hard to be that evil monster. But those little slivers of humanity just constantly shine through to anyone he cares about. I mean, take it to the sheriff whenever she found out about vampires. Or not about vampires, about Damon and, Stefan and all that. She tried to kill him. She tried to kill him, the brother, everything. And when he got free, he didn't want to kill her because she is his friend. That shows, so much humanity within him, even though he tries his hardest to kind of push it all out. But as we learn from Rose, you can turn it off for a little while. But as you get older, you realize it doesn't work and you can only fake turning it off. So that's great. He is a very human character. He is a flawed character. He is a hero who would give anything to save those he loves, as we've seen with Elena. He's a character that I want to see in every episode. He is great. You are 100% right. He is very big or go home. Like, he's kind of dramatic. And yeah, impulsive is a word too. He is so impulsive. So impulsive. And I think it's just because, why why not be at this point? The worst thing that can happen is he can die. And he seemed to be ready for death at any moment. We saw that at the end of season 2 when he took off his ring to be burned by the sun other than die from the werewolf bite. Like, why not? Why not do it? And that's how he feels. And for that reason, for all those reasons I laid out, Stefan, welcome to the S tier. He is charisma. Charisma maxed out. But that is my list. What do you think? Any gross injustices here? Is there anyone on a tier that you think is just the complete opposite of where they should be? Is it kind of how you feel? I'm going to leave the comments open for a few more minutes and answer any questions or anything like that. And yeah, well, this is how I view the show. It's how I view the characters within the show. All right, Em. So I was worried, but at the same time, this is the downfall of watching a show after it's already been out. I know there's like 6 or 7 seasons, and I know Damon and Stefan are in all the seasons. So I knew he might die, but the death would not be permanent somehow. So that does take a little bit out of the sense of dread. But there were other characters, well, pretty much every other character, I have no idea if they're going to live or die. Because this show will, as we have seen, it will kill characters off. The death of Jenna completely caught me off guard. I was like, oh my God, she's dead. And it bummed me out pretty hard. Pretty hard in my reaction. I was pretty bummed out. But I know the Salvatore brothers, at the end of the day, are going to be okay. So it does take a little bit of the kind of edge off when they're in a life or death situation. Yes, she did spend most of her time as human, but she died a vampire, so she gets surrounded in red for blood. She's a vamp. But yeah, it kind of sucked her getting turned because she was only a vampire for like 15-20 minutes. Yeah, I wish she wouldn't have died either. I think now that she knew the truth about everyone, she could have been brought into the circle. Her and Alaric could have had little hunter babies. They could have raised their children to be like the Winchesters, and it could have been a great happy ending. But in the world of the Vampire Diaries, I think we seldom get happy endings. Yeah, I wish she'd have known about it too. It was really kind of sad. But what can you do? What can you do? It was her time, I guess. And Elena had to watch it. Of course, then the part of my mind goes, so who's going to be the people in charge of Elena and Jeremy now? Because the courts are going to, want to know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like there's the real world aspect of people dying. You're like, that's probably going to be a bit of a mess. But I don't know. Isabelle, I was fine when she died. She took off her ring. She burned to death. Good for her. I was tired of her. She was no good. She abandoned Alaric. She abandoned her daughter. She wanted immortality for her own selfish reasons. And in the end, her quest for power and immortality led to her painful death. I'm glad. See you later, Isabelle. Look, I didn't throw you in the D tier with Vicky down there, but you weren't that bad. You were an interesting character, but I'm glad you died. Yeah, I didn't like Isabelle. I mean, she was not bad on the eyes, but as a vampire, as a person, she was kind of trash. So John redeemed himself at the end, which I did like. I did like that in the end he gave his life to save his daughter's life. But one redeeming act does not make up for an entire lifetime of being an asshole. And he was an asshole. And he's dead. I'm glad he's dead. At least we got Elena back from his death. I almost put him in the C tier because of his sacrifice. But like I said, that sacrifice does not make up for him being an asshole for the entirety of the show. So he's where he belongs, at the bottom with Vicky. But his redemption was very nice. I was hoping when he died, he wouldn't have just fell over, like his body would have like turned into dust or like desiccated or something, showing his life force being sucked out of him and being put into Elena. Yeah, Klaus has potential. And I'll tell you who Klaus reminds me of, and this is one of the best compliments I can give to any vampire. Tom Cruise, Interview with a Vampire, Lestat. He gives me Lestat vibes, and that is my favorite vampire in any movie or TV show. So he's giving me those vibes. I just need more of him to see if it's really there or if it's just me projecting. I don't know. All right, so that is a great question, Dead Cows. I want to see Alaric go back into being a hunter. I want him to like delve deep into the hunter aspect. I want him to go after Klaus for killing Jenna, even though I don't think Klaus can be killed. But would one of the daggers work on Klaus? So we need to get one of the daggers, shove it in Klaus's chest, and we can lock him away. So I want to see Alaric lean more towards the hunter aspect of his character. That would get him up to S tier if he starts kicking some ass. Klaus, I just want to see more of. I just don't know enough. I've only seen his like quest to remove the curse aspect. I want to know how far this bottomless pit of his soul really goes. Is he truly this just unredeemable evil vampire werewolf hybrid? Is there something more? I don't know. I want to see that. And Stefan, I want to see him go batshit crazy. I want to see the Ripper. And that's what I want to see with him. Now, is that going to make him go to S tier? I don't know. But I like the concept of this because Stefan has always seemed to me as a vampire pretending to be human, holding down what he really feels, what he really wants, just pushing all that negativity down into his gut, just all the blood rage and the animal instincts and the desire to hunt, to feel the prey's neck in your mouth, to feel the blood rushing in, to feel the heart beating for it last time. I feel like Stefan has the urge so much more than most vampires, and he just pushes it down. And I want to see him unleash that. I want to see him become the monster he is afraid he is. That's what I want to see out of Stefan. Yeah, I think most of these characters are in a pretty dark place right now, to be honest. Season 3 did not end on a happy note, other than Jeremy coming back from the dead. But, like, it ended in kind of a sour note. Like, Jen is dead. John's dead, yay. Stefan's gone. Everyone's life is ripped apart. Matt broke up with Caroline. Tyler's werewolf mentor girl is dead. I mean, season 2 kind of ended on a downer. So season 3, we got to see what we're going to get. I'm very excited for that, though. All right, I'm gonna leave it open for a few more minutes. Any last minute questions? No, thank you for bringing that up, Dead Cows. You will see my reaction because I'm like, oh God, not Vicky. No, I was not happy at all. I was not happy at all. I was like, oh, don't you tell me she's coming back. I was like, son of a. But then we saw Anna, which I liked seeing. And then I was like, oh, okay. He can see the ghosts or dead people talk to him or something. So she's not really back. And that made it a little bit better. But yeah, I was not happy. I was not happy when Vicky showed back up. Oh my God, that was the worst. Oh, they got me. It's all about having time to edit. Editing for YouTube. So my typical video is like 50 minutes to an hour. I have to edit that down to about 15 minutes for YouTube. It takes about 2.5 to 3 hours per video. And, you know, I have a full-time job and a wife and a kid and all that entails. It's a lot of time having to do stuff. So I just don't have the time to post a ton. I try to post as much as I can. So you'll get one video a week, maybe two if you're lucky, of Vampire Diaries. I think this week I posted 2. But you know, I do what I can. It's just a time thing. That's really what keeps me from posting more videos more often. I just don't have the time to edit. I try to post between 4 and 5 episodes a month on Patreon, because on Patreon I don't have to edit, so I can just record, upload, post. So it saves me a lot of time. So I post quite often there. But on YouTube, the issue is just the time issue. I just don't have time to edit as much as I would like to. But I think this month I watched 6 episodes of Vampire Diaries on Patreon. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it's just a time thing, man. It's a time thing. Just, it's 3 hours per. And that's if YouTube doesn't block it and I have to go back and re-edit. I mean, sometimes I can spend 5-6 hours to get one 15-minute video up on YouTube. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. When Jimmy got shot, I was like, oh shit, they shot Jimmy. All right. Any 2 characters together? That's a tough one. You know who I would put together, and this is all because of one scene, and it might have been in one of my recent YouTube videos that I posted. Caroline and Stefan in the Mystic Grill, and they're talking about, you know, she's like, why are you so nice to me? And it's because you remind me of a friend. I would like to see Caroline and Stefan hook up, because their chemistry in that scene was so sweet, so endearing. I think Stefan would be great for Caroline. He's such a loving partner, and she deserves someone who would love her for all the greatness she is. And I do get the whole Lexi vibe, and I thought Stefan and Lexi had a great chemistry, and I think Caroline and Stefan could have that same chemistry. So that would be, you know, who I would want to see. 27 Dead Cows. I will be starting season 3 this month. I have to watch at least 1 or 2 episodes because I just want to see what happens. So I'm gonna make time to watch probably 1 episode, maybe 2 this month. But once again, they'll just be on Patreon because I have like another 12 videos to post for season 2 on YouTube. I'm sorry, folks. I'm trying. It's just hard to edit. I need an editor. Yes, great chemistry when she just turned. You're 100% right. And yeah, I just love the dynamic they have. So I would like to see them together. Uh, I'd kind of like to see Damon and Katarina together, but only for like hot, angry, hot, angry sex. Because you know when you're really mad at someone and you kind of take it out in a sexual way, like you know you're well. Let me rephrase that. That kind of sounded creepy. You have two people that are both angry at each other, but they're both really attracted to each other, and they get together and hook up. But they take out all that rage and anger and build up hostility in the bedroom. It's pretty hot, and I think those two could have some pretty hot moments. But that's a whole nother show that's not gonna make it to YouTube because yeah, that'd probably be X-rated. But that would be pretty great. Bonnie, I think her and Jeremy have a good chemistry. I think they're fine. I like Bonnie and Jeremy. Yeah, Bonnie and Jeremy, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. I don't know. I thought her and that warlock dude would have made a good couple. They had a lot in common, but she betrayed him, so guess not. Wow, wow, wow. Bonnie Bennett, BB, name of a superhero. All right, we got anything else? I'm actually enjoying interacting with some of my fans out there. I do appreciate you all, by the way. Thank you all for coming to my live stream and liking my channel and my videos and giving me a shot. I know I'm not the biggest YouTuber out there, but I do appreciate each and every one of y'all. Yes, Elijah and Elena do have some chemistry, I would admit. When they are negotiating, there's definitely something there, but I think Elena has chemistry with almost everybody. She's just a very, I don't know. She interacts well with others. And she kissed Damon at the end of season 2. What is he going to think about that? You know, like, you're going to mess with my boy's mind. You know you don't love him. You're going to kiss him? Traumatize him. No, 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 no. 27 Deck House. I appreciate you. We can appreciate each other. Yes, reaction videos are fun. I actually watched reaction videos for many, many, many years before I ever decided to film my own. Mainly because of the lockdowns. I was stuck at home and figured if I'm going to watch some new shows, why not record my reactions? That's also why I don't react to any of the major shows that other reactors react to, like Lost or what are some of the others? I don't know. Breaking Bad. Because I've seen all of those shows. I watched reaction videos for all of those shows. But it was time for me to watch something new because I was locked down. And Vampire Diaries was one of those shows I've never seen. And why not share my first time watching something with people like myself who love to watch reactions? Yeah, poor Damon, man. Elena, you shouldn't have kissed him. And I know you thought he was going to die and it was a kindness. But he didn't die. And now it's going to be in his mind that you kissed him. And what does that kiss mean? He has abandonment issues. He has woman issues. He has some problems. But that's why we love him. Oh yes, I do love the lore and the universe. That's really what gets me. But you know, I've been a storyteller for a lot of role-playing games for 20 plus years. So the world building is something that I do myself in my different games. and to see a world being built, especially with vampires tied into kind of the vampire games that I play, it really kind of strikes a chord with me, and I love it so much. Hello, Danny. Yeah, so if it was real life and my girlfriend kissed my brother, we'd have problems. A, a, a girlfriend shouldn't be kissing your brother. And your brother shouldn't be kissing your girlfriend. So I would kick them both to the curb, personally. Now, maybe not in this situation. Because, all right, say my brother has a crush on my girlfriend. I get it. My girlfriend's awesome. You have a crush on her. And my brother is on his deathbed. My brother is going to die. And my girlfriend kisses him as a goodbye. I could probably let that slide. And then he recovers. Like, oh God, he recovered. But the kiss was not done out of passion, I think, or out of any kind of sexual love, but more out of a love of friendship, a appreciation for all that you've done for me, and I do care about you. A little peck. So I could probably let that kiss slide. All right, Em, you're asking some good questions here. Would I forgive someone for killing my brother? No, but it is not the same because he came back to life. So he killed him, but he didn't really kill him. So once again, you could probably look past it because it's not really death. You know, it's weird. Now, if he killed my brother and he didn't come back, yeah, we're done. We're done. I don't want to see this person ever again. I'll probably kill him myself. But if they kill my brother and he comes right back, I could probably let that go. Yeah. Yeah, 27 dead cows. 100%. Kiss was not romantic. It was more of a gesture of love, but not a romantic love. So that was fine. That was a fine kiss. Now, whether Damon takes it that way is a whole different question. I think Damon will take that kiss as something more because he wants it to be something more. Yes, M, 100%. Damon did not know he was wearing the ring. So the intent was to kill your brother. 100%. Because Damon has impulse control problems. But the end result, your brother's not really dead. So could I get past it? Yes. Would I get past it as quickly as she did? Probably not. Would I ever really trust Damon again? Probably not. Because it shows just how unhinged he is. And the minute he has any kind of emotional trauma, he's going to lash out and probably kill somebody. So, I don't know. It's a tough question. But the fact that your brother didn't truly die, that leaves it in the realm of possibility to getting over it. But it would take a lot longer than it did in the show. But I also get they're filming a show. They can't have them hate each other for 20 episodes. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. He intended to kill him, but he didn't. But he didn't. He came back. So I think I could get over it at some point. But I don't think I would ever trust him again. I I, I would associate with Damon because he would be my boyfriend's brother. Stefan, he's your brother. I will tolerate him. I will be nice to him, but I don't want to be around him any more than I have to, and I don't trust him, and I kind of don't like him, but I can get past what he did because he's your brother and be polite. That's about as far as I would go with it. The fact that she just let it all go and is now like super buddy buddy, that is a little bit weird. A little bit weird. Yeah, 27 dead cows. That could very much be it. It could be that it just shows how Elena is willing to forgive even the most heinous acts because she is a loving, caring person, which could be her downfall in the end. Because honestly, I don't know if Elena makes it to the end of the series. I'm pretty sure the Salvatore brothers do, but that's about it. I mean, for everyone else, I don't know if anyone else makes it. I guess I'll find out. Do not tell me in the comments below, please. No spoilers. All right, I'm gonna give this about another 5 minutes for any last minute questions. If I don't get anything, we will be calling this first Vampire Diaries live stream to a close. And like I have in the description, after this ends, the video will be privated. It'll then be it'll be made public once I finish season 2 for all of YouTube. Yeah, Danny, I got to do some more Harry Mack. I've fallen kind of behind. That's just, time is my enemy in life, man. Time. I wish I could just slow down time and I could watch and film and edit and then still do all of the junk I have to do as a grown up. It never ends. It never ends. No. So I think I'm going to be doing a ranking every 2 seasons. So the end of season 2, end of season 4, end of season 6. How many seasons are there? 7, 8? I don't know. And then one at the final conclusion of the show, probably. So probably every 2 seasons. I mean, I might do it every season if I think it's necessary. I really don't know yet. Oh yes, they will hear me say 27 dead cows multiple times. The algorithm might go crazy. I don't know. 27 dead cows. But yep, this will be, like I said, this will be privated after this ends. I'll then make it public again when I finish season 2. It will also be on my Patreon at the $1 tier, which my $1 tier, you get access to polls. You also get access to random uncut reactions. Every so often, I'll just put one on my $1 tier. It's called Dealer's Choice. I just throw episodes out there. I think episode 20 of season 2 is on the $1 tier for Vampire Diaries, which is a pretty intense episode. All right, so I want Lexi to come back. I think she could have helped Damon and Stefan during the whole Klaus thing. And maybe she could have died at the end of season 2. Maybe she could have been the vampire that was killed and not Jenna. So that would have saved 2 characters. So we could have brought, so Lexi could have lived. She would have then helped them fight Klaus, would have been captured at some point. She would have been sacrificed, which would have left Jenna to not be killed, not be turned into a vampire, and she could have continued her storyline with Alaric and the crew. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good to hear, Danny, man. I do appreciate all the support. I remember when you came over whenever I was doing my Harry Mack reactions, and you've had nothing but kind words, and I do appreciate you, man. And I'm glad I got you watching something new on YouTube, because there's a lot of things out there to watch. Ooh, favorite episode. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't know if I have an answer for that off the top of my head. Favorite episode. I don't know. I don't know him. I'm going to have to ponder that. I'll probably try to do a top tier episode list maybe at some point. Like maybe my top 5 or something, because that's one of those you really have to sit down and ponder. Yeah, Lexi would have been great. I mean, Lexi could have worked in so well to season 2. Oh yeah, Zach. I forgot about Zach. He didn't even make it on the list. Hey, shouldn't have pulled a fast one on Damon Salvatore. Well, the most annoying episode is any episode with Vicky in it as a major character. That's number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Vicky, screen time. The one with the most Vicky screen time is the worst. And we just go down from there. So that's how I feel about that. Yeah, like Vicky would be on an even lower tier if there was one. Like right down there. She's trash. Trash. Yeah, poor Zach. Zach, man. You messed with the wrong Salvatore, brother. Got that neck popped. Man, oh man. I did a live stream. I'm kind of proud of myself here. Been like almost an hour and 40 minutes. My goodness. Whew, getting a little hot though, I tell you. I got lights, and I live in Florida, and I film in my garage with no air conditioner. So, it's a little hot. A little bit. Okay, I believe we're going to be calling this to a close at this point. So once again, yes, this has been a lot of fun. I appreciate everyone who joined me for this. And once again, thank you all for the kind words and support. And I will see you when I post next. So we'll have some more Vampire Diaries coming up, along with all the other shows I react to. So please like, comment, share, subscribe, and Patreon link will be in the description below. This is Mega. Man, you gotta get a fan one. All right, so yeah, I was just about to end it. Now I'm gonna talk more because I love to talk. So I have a little portable AC in here, and I can run it, but the microphone picks it up, and it's not terrible. But my desire to give all of you the best audio quality I can makes me turn off my portable AC for you. I suffer for all of you. Well, I am glad so many of you had fun. This is the first of many. I hope to do more live streams in the future. I might even start reacting to things on live stream. What do you? I was all getting ready to actually leave, and here I am talking more. How would you feel about me doing a live reaction, like a stream reaction to Vampire Diary bloopers, like season 1, season 2, season? Because I could probably do those on a live stream without getting copyright hit, I think. So I think that could be fun. Watch some bloopers, have a little bit of a conversation. It'd be a good time for all. All right, seems like, yeah. Yes, yes. All right, yes. I will definitely plan that. We'll have to get something set up and we can do that. It'll be fun. Once again though, thank you all for coming. I appreciate each every one of you. Y'all have a fantastic day. This is Mega.